He is a hero who prophesied his own death.
I felt vividly that my breath was failing. Then my vision became dim and dense darkness, like that of nothingness, overpowered me.
While this hero made an unusual political statement.
Sinasabi nga nila na yung kung gaano kahaba yung buhok nila, gaano kahaba na silang lumalaban.
Our heroes had their quirks.
Trivia is just a jumping point to asking hard questions about ourselves to give us a human picture of our heroes.
This is the flip side of Hero Story. We all know him as the pride of Calamba and the head on our 1 peso coin. But our national hero Jose Rizal also had a knack for leaving audiences in awe.
Rizal was actually talented in such a way that he was able to perform to amaze and amuse the guests of their house, sleight of hand tricks. So he was using illusion and magic to wow the audiences.
Aside from illusion and magic, Rizal had encounters that were inexplicably prophetic.
I dreamed that I'm imitating an actor in a scene in which he dies. I felt vividly that my breath was failing and I was rapidly losing strength. The anguish of death, feeling that I was about to die. He wrote this on January 1, 1883, and he said that he dreamed this 2 days ago. And that was December 30 of 1882. That was 14 years before he died.
These little-known facts about our heroes inspire many artists to retell their stories beyond the standard. In fact, when renowned filmmakers Ricky Lee and Marilu Diaz-Abaya teamed up for a film biography of Jose Rizal, they invested 2 years in unearthing more truths about our national hero.
Nung una naming difficulty, 90% yata ng buhay ni Rizal alam na ng tao. It turned out na hindi naman pala 90% ang alam ng mga tao. Maybe mga 40% lang na paulit-ulit nilang nalalaman at nababasa.
What was overwhelming for me, and eventually I think for the group, was the fact that there was this man who exceeded his destiny.
For the execution, nag-aayos pa, mga ganun.
No normal human being would say, will be executed now, pero will take, great pains in, is my tie good? Is my hair good?
The film, simply entitled Jose Rizal, cost around 80 million pesos to make, the most expensive film in Philippine cinema at the time of its release.
The short and immediate objective of the movie is to pay tribute to ourselves, to the Filipino nation. I'm always concerned that a movie that I make moved you emotionally so that you can read about it, some more be sensitive, more sensitive on the subject matter. If this can do it, then so much the better.
Luckily for one lesser-known hero, he also got the big screen treatment. In 1993, experimental filmmaker Raymond Red went mainstream with his movie about Tagalog revolutionary Macario Sakai.
In many ways, Macario Sakai was fascinating. He was actually a working-class hero. He was a tailor, he did so many jobs, but he had a political agenda. Despite the fact that the Americans promised to give us civilization, to westernize us, they became repressive. And that drove Macario Sakai to return to fighting against the Americans.
Sakai and his followers had a distinct trademark: long hair.
When Macario Sakai was with his men in the Tagalog Republic, with the revolutionaries, they were resting and Macario Sakai was actually having his hair cut when the Americans came and attacked them. So they have to run away and they were almost caught. Macario Sakai then said after that, "I'm not going to have my hair cut until freedom was restored." He died still having long hair because that symbolizes that we're still not free when he died.
But unlike Rizal's well-accounted life, details of Sakai's history are scant.
Tinago ng mga Amerikano yung kwento ni Sakai. Isa siyang revolusyonaryo, manghihimagsik laban sa Amerikano. Eh syempre kailangang pagtibayan ng Amerika yung gobyerno nila sa Pilipinas noon. So nung nahuli si Sakai, pinalabas nila na tulisan si Sakai. Hindi siya bayani. Sa research, lumalabas na hindi siya ordinaryong tulisan. Isa siya din sa mga hindi pumayag na mapasailalim ang Pilipinas sa Amerika.
Raymond Red's film is not the first to portray Sakai on the silver screen. 54 years earlier, national artist for film Lamberto Avellana portrayed Sakai as a villain, which Rick Pasion, one of the film's actors, says was a lie.
Yung mga panahon na yun, we were under the American rule, no? So Sakai at that time was portrayed as a bandit. Tapos nilagyan pa ng scar sa mukha, no? Eh meron pa kaming sinasabi nung araw ng mga kabataan kasi remark ni Gregorio Tickman noon, Sakai, huwag kang papatay, lalayo sa yung sinapay. Mali yung una, mali. Mas may historical background ito, mas may katotohanan itong nakita natin ngayon.
Historical accounts of less popular heroes are hard to find. Why? Because of the class divide.
Jose Rizal had more accounts about him than most heroes because he was educated, because he was able to write a lot. In many ways, the history that we learned from the longest time was the history of the rich and the powerful, because they were the ones who were able to keep records. History is quite lopsided against the poor, against those who are not able to keep records, like Macario Sakai.
Thanks to Red's movie, Sakai and his trademark long locks now live in our memory. But on the flip side, there are artists and historians who want to challenge popular narratives, especially those about controversial heroes like Emilio Aguinaldo.
Even if they became rivals, Bonifacio and Aguinaldo had a deep friendship before. Aguinaldo wrote this in this testimony. If you're going to look at it, he admits that he ordered the execution of Bonifacio, but only after saying that it shouldn't have been. And then he justifies it as, this is for the unity of the revolution, which is unfortunate.
Stand, my brothers, for tyranny vanquished!
Playwright Joy Virata thinks history has been unfair to Aguinaldo. This motivated her to create Myong, an original stage musical by Repertory Philippines. Joy Virata is the wife of Cesar Virata, a grandnephew of Aguinaldo. But rewriting history means courting controversy.
I'm one of those who sincerely believe that he did not want Bonifacio to be killed, and that he had no control anymore because he was in the middle of this terrible battle which he was losing.
Now, when I watched the Myong play, it was very clear that this is the story in the point of view of Aguinaldo. In the story, did they hide the killing of Bonifacio there? No. In fact, Myong questioned himself in that play. There was anguish there. Now, we do not know whether that was what Aguinaldo felt, but it's an artistic portrayal that tells us that Aguinaldo actually was wrong, or at least questions the validity of his decision. That it was not easy for him.
Piecing together history is complicated. Perspectives differ and clash. Yet, these are pieces of the same puzzle that should tell a coherent story.
If you look at these portrayals, these movies, these plays, I believe that we should be aware of perspectives. We should be critical of the agenda of the storyteller. That's why I do not call it historical revisionism, because revising history is actually the job of historians when they find new data. You have to correct history all the time. For me, historical revision or the privileging of certain perspectives is not actually bad as long as you do not distort historical facts. What is dangerous is what we call historical distortion. Ever since the world began, there's propaganda, there's historical distortion. Politicians will come and go, but the historical truth will be refined. It will shine even brighter in the future when everything else subsides. The evidence and the sources, will clarify all of this. Like what happened with the Bonifacio-Aguinaldo rift, which has been now clarified.
Discovering the quirky side of our heroes is never a trivial endeavor.
So whether in fact that Rizal was a magician, or that he ever won the lotto, or that, the reason why Macario Sakai's hair was long, is just to give us a human picture of our heroes. But that we should not stop there, because history is not trivia. It's an insult to think of history as just trivia. History should make us ask difficult questions. History should make us know more about ourselves. History is so up because of the many perspectives. It is important to be critical so that you don't get as well.